crack open a cold one because it's time for a crit sandwich. Crit Sandwich is four friends playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons with random settings and plots. We will use adult language, we edit lightly for brevity, and to make us look super fast at math. And of course, we will screw up the D&D rules. Welcome to episode 0 of Crit Sandwich. My name is Casey Sears. I am your host and dungeon master. To my left, I have Matt Popich.
What's up, man?
Matt Popich, tell me, what's your favorite class in D&D? And what do you do for a living?
I trade stock for a living, and I could write a book about that other question. The other question is like, I don't remember I said at a computer. But I got... son of a bitch. I would say cleric.
Oh, okay. All right.
Didn't see it coming, probably.
No, I didn't see that coming at all.
It's a good one.
It is. And sitting across the table from me is Chuck Ventus. What do you do for a living, and what is your favorite class in Dungeons & Dragons?
Hi guys, this is Chuck here. I'm in customer service, and my favorite class is Rogue. I like to cause trouble. So
Yeah, you do.
yeah, I like to cause trouble.
What is customer service?
Whoa.
Who is this?
You can't talk
Who's
before
this
we introduce
rando?
you.
Some rando walked in and
fuck
started...
are you?
All right. To my right is Sir Robert Ponder. Robbie, what do you do for a living, and what is your favorite Dungeons & Dragons class?
Thank you. Casey just knighted me. If you noticed, he called me sir. I have been knighted. I am a quality technician, and my favorite Dungeons & Dragons class, I actually haven't played one in a campaign, but I have a lot of fun with him as a warlock.
All right.
What's the quality trends technician?
You covered up that where you work by saying customer service. Just say
I'm
where
not
you
gonna
work
reveal. I'm not going to reveal my.
It's a
actual
good job,
location.
but it
Yeah.
just sounds bad.
Let's just say that there's pictures of Chuck all around the city on poster board.
That makes it sound like a really good
The
job.
city of Cincinnati. You can't drive
I'm
around
a
without
model.
seeing Chuck.
Model some
Basically
days.
a model.
I'm in customer service. I don't know. Man.
All right.
That's fine.
I am a general manager at a store. I will not reveal the name of that store.
Maybe our jobs will change soon. Who knows
Yeah,
what our
that's right.
title's going to be?
There you go.
In the next introduction of this podcast, we'll all have different jobs. Casey, what do you do for a living?
I'm a graphic designer. I do design with graphics.
With graphics.
Yep. So this is Crit Sandwich. I almost said the previous name of the podcast, which was stolen from us because it was a good name. This name is totally fine too, and we're sticking with it for now.
I like Crit Sandwich.
What we're going to do here, this is episode 0 of what will hopefully be a long and fruitful podcast. And we're going to create a completely random role-playing world. We have a chart that I created. It has 20 options for character, 20 options for setting, 20 options for world state, and 20 options for plot. And we are just going to roll 4 d20s and come up with some random worlds. And then we're going to take a break, and people are going to make characters. And then the next episode is going to be the first episode of the game that we play. So we'll have the next session we sit down, we will all come together with characters in this completely random world and play some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in it. And hopefully it doesn't suck. Ideally, that's the goal, is to make something not terribly shitty. So, let's just get into it. Let's just start rolling. Do we want to do one person rolling 4 times or everyone roll once?
I was going to suggest, like, you are the character guy. Just around the circle. I'm setting Chuck world state and Robbie plot.
All right.
What do you think of that idea?
We can try that for a while. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
All right. So we would all roll at the exact same time.
Okay, yeah. So what we're going to do this a few times, and we're going to have a couple different scenarios, and then we're going to kind of workshop them, throw them back and forth, figure out what sounds good, and then we'll lock one down, and we'll start talking about what kind of characters we want to create. And then in the next episode 1, if you want to start there, will be us actually playing the game in this world that we're about to bullshit right now.
So let's describe that a little bit more to our audience. We have 4 categories, 4 players. We're all going to roll a d20. And then we have a list from 1 to 20 for each category. So we have the characters, and we have a setting, a world state, and our plot.
Correct. Roll them beautiful d20s, everybody. All right, so I got a 5, which is Inquisitors.
I got a 12, which is cyberpunk / dark future.
And Chuck, what do we have for the world state?
I rolled a 15, which is the world state is a multiplanar reality. Boom.
And Robbie, what do we have for plot?
Plot, we have Godzilla, King Kong.
All right, so thinking about this, there would be giant monsters that the characters would have to fight as religious inquisitors.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah,
I was going to say, can we read off like, okay, we are this in this type of setting, but it sounded like you were already doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of working backwards. So you guys would be religious inquisitors in a cyberpunk future, and you would be traveling through multiple planes of reality to stop giant monsters. That sounds kind of badass.
That sounds
already.
good. I liked it.
That's a good decent roll.
So like maybe like in the world, like our world is pretty technologically advanced, but we figured out these other worlds, there's huge monsters. And like we're like a task force that kills these monsters.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Maybe they're invading our world. Maybe they're just
some
messing up their own world.
Yeah.
Why we gotta kill them? Why we gotta kill them? Why can't we just make them our pet? Why we gotta kill them?
Because that's the plot.
Maybe your character wants to not kill them.
You know, I don't want to just kill a giant creature. You know, that's something that's really beautiful. Where are these giant creatures coming from? Are we?
You're not a good inquisitor.
You know, why does the Inquisitor have to? It doesn't mean murderer. It's like we're not killers. We're Inquisitors.
Yeah. Google the Inquisition. I think you'll find there were lots of murders.
Yeah.
I probably will have to do that.
Yeah, I could definitely. I could see a lot going on. Like maybe it was an accident that you guys are open up all these planes to all of these monsters. Maybe you have to go and go and turn off them from coming into our world, or send them back to where they belong, or I don't know. I feel like there could be a lot more on the Inquisitor part too, but I feel like I need to just read more about Inquisitors.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's roll for let's roll for reality number 2.
Oh man,
we keeping the same things for this round again?
Yeah,
so you'll still characters.
I'll stick with characters.
Inquisitor is a class in some kind of Star Wars game. Just let everyone know.
That's true.
That's what came up.
It's also Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
That's what I keep thinking when I think about that. Do I have to do plot again? Can I mix it up? Let's mix it up.
Too late. We are doing the same ones for this one.
I hate being the plot guy every time.
Why? Plot's sweet. It's the most important guy, I think.
Do you want to? I mean, let's stick it with it for this one, but the next one I'll trade you.
All right, thank you.
So I had a 13 for characters, which is treasure hunters.
Oh, I got World Tree as 17.
I rolled a 13 as well. Surveillance state.
You know what? I rolled a 13 as well, and I got John Wick.
Okay, well, I don't know what to do with all that.
All right, so you had surveillance state. Okay.
I don't know what the...
Man, that is... Yeah, that's out there.
State.
Surveillance state in a world tree. So you guys would be characters who are on a quest for vengeance. The John Wick story, right? So you are treasure hunters, but somebody done you real wrong, and you want to murder the hell out of them.
It's national treasure, but
so the world tree would, I imagine, it'd be some sort of world where everything exists inside this massive tree that could hold millions and millions of people, right? So that's the kind of world, and maybe the surveillance state is like the tree itself. Maybe the tree's like pollens and buds. Maybe the tree has eyes and it watches everybody and takes care of things, but you guys are breaking all the rules in this tree world. I feel like this one isn't as easy.
That's a tough one. I was thinking more of like the tree had agents, like fairies that protected it.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my thought process
Sprites?
there. Yeah, Sprite.
Okay, you could all be going
in general.
You could all be going to a world tree.
Yeah.
To seek your John Wick style vengeance on a group of people, and also find treasure.
Sure. Yeah, the treasure hunter part kind of makes it like it's all.
Yeah, there's a treasure in this tree, but also maybe there's a two plots. Maybe there's a treasure hunting plot and there's a vengeance plot with a John Wick thing. So someone's done you wrong, but also you're trying to get treasure, and it all happens in a giant tree that is watching you and like
the tree's alive.
Yeah, it's like foiling you along the way. Like it's
trying to prevent you from the tree's trying to prevent you from finding the treasure.
Yes.
So,
but also you're on a vengeance quest.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot. It's not bad.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It seems kind of silly.
I don't know how we put a John Wick in there. I have not seen the movie, so
I have not.
I would not say that on live on the air.
Don't tell the internet that you haven't seen John Wick.
We lost all credibility.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Well, I'm done listening to this."
Click.
Is that good?
It's
I don't want to talk it up too much. I don't want to talk it up too much.
I'm worried.
It's just
I feel like he is Neo, and then like everything else is like.
I like it.
But he's that good?
Watch it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It's just a really good action movie.
Because he was like the laughing stock of actual real actors for a long time, and then
he's back.
Not
Keanu's back in a big way.
He knows what he's doing.
Okay.
What's the one movie with him where he kills demons? Is that John Wick?
No, it's Constantine.
Constantine. Oh, okay. Yeah. I like that movie.
All right. Well, we're Keanu Reeves fans, folks. So just deal with that.
All right. Are we gonna just like rotate one clockwise?
No, I think Robbie and I are gonna switch. Do you guys want to trade or keep your same categories?
Do you want to switch?
I don't care. Sure.
Too bad, bitch.
All right. I'll be world state again.
I'm just kidding. We can switch.
All right. I'll be
Are we switching? All right.
I was setting, so now you are world state. You're setting.
Oh, man. I'm like the...
Oh, I love mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so going around characters. Robbie hit us?
I got a 13, so we got treasure hunters again.
You suck, dude. Sorry.
Now hold on a second. This might go well with mine. Pirates living... Or I'm sorry, treasure hunters living in a pirate setting. Mine,
Okay.
I rolled an 18, got pirates.
What?
All right.
I dropped a 14 burger on you. That's a biblical apocalypse, bitches.
Oh. And this plot is that I rolled is Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
So there would be an epic quest among treasure hunting pirates, and to stop the end of the world, or maybe the apocalypse is happening,
and
they think they can stop the end of the world, so they have to go out and pirate themselves to some treasure to save everyone, and maybe move that treasure to, I don't know, a volcano.
There you go.
Where they have to throw in the treasure.
Yeah,
It's a cursed
so we were
treasure.
saving the world, potentially. I feel like that's a much more direct path than our previous one, which was like...
Yeah, the other one was like, how are we going to glue this together? This one is kind of more easier to glue
Too
together.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, this seems like almost like a generic pirate themed D&D
like
game.
Post-apocalypse or prevent
Current
apocalypse is very played. That I mean, it's for a reason, I'm sure. But
this seems almost too stereotypical for me to be excited about it.
You toss in pirates a little bit, and it's got some twistiness, but not enough for me.
Like I'm still way more excited about Cyberpunk. I'm still more excited about like giant alien monster things and planes.
The one thing that makes me excited is the pirate voice that I have already prepared for this. Then no,
I'm not sure if
how did you?
we didn't have time for pirates.
It's just a grr here and everything there. But
not a voice per se.
I consider like a pirate voice eventually will start getting annoying. So that's not a good idea.
Are you done
at this point?
All right, so let's do option number 4.
Character. I'm gonna be character again.
No. Wait, you weren't even character.
you're right.
I don't even character to begin.
You want to trade with me?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm plot. I'll stay with plot. I like being plot.
Do you want to be world state again, Matt, or do you want to go back to setting?
I'm world state. I did good on world state. I like biblical apocalypse.
I'll be character. Sure,
That's a real thing.
That.
The rapture could happen any day. So
I'm really hoping for a 1. That'd be awesome.
I did get a 1.
Oh, I got a 5. It's close.
All right, Robbie, what is that 5?
I did world state. Chuck traded me.
I rolled characters this time.
sorry.
No,
Okay,
I'm
Chuck.
world state.
You're world state?
I've been world state.
I was setting before, Robbie, so you rolled for setting.
Oh.
All right, so I rolled for characters, okay? I rolled a 4. We are priests.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that goes good with mine, I think.
Oh, and I guess we should say that this list is probably on the internet. Look up the name of our podcast on Facebook, Twitter, the Googles, and you will find this list. So if you want to do this yourself at home, and also I think ideally if you want to make recommendations, because what we're going to do is after we play this this campaign for anywhere from 2 to 10 or so sessions, or 2 to 10 episodes ish, depending on where it goes and how it happens. We're going to start over right here, rolling a random game. So if you have suggestions for character, setting, world state, or plot, send them to us. I would love to see them, and we'll compile them, and maybe we will play something in one of your suggestions. Sorry. So we are priests in what setting?
So I rolled setting, and it's kind of okay. I rolled a 5, which is the D&D standard.
Okay.
Which I got mixed feelings about that one because it could be positive for listening purposes, but then like not as exciting as some of these other ones.
It's just generic fantasy is what I would call like a D&D setting.
Yeah. But let me throw a twist in there. It's a utopia.
Oh.
We're talking, yeah.
You know what that plot is? Jurassic Park.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so imagine here's what I'm seeing. I'm thinking all right, so D&D utopia, perfect world. Okay. Someone has all of the monsters in this world have been quelled. Like they've all been like
living the sweet life.
They're living the sweet life. There are no more beholders.
Maybe like the zoo. Can you go to the zoo and see like the beholder like zapping things?
You can now.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like the sweet life.
You guys are a group of priests that go to an island or a place or a city, or like I don't know whether it's in like the Underdark or on a mountain or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you are ideally learning about all of the fantasy monsters that have been killed over the years. They've been brought back to life by like a wizard or something. Some sort of wizard scientist has brought them back into the now, and you're learning about what adventurers used to do and how they used to kill all these monsters and blah, 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 blah.
They would get treasure, and like, here's the little treasure area. Like, oh, here's the +1 sword.
And things go wrong.
Uh-oh.
Things go terribly wrong.
Things go really wrong.
If that's me, I'm heading straight to the treasure area.
That's actually kind of cool because it's like you could do like a D&D rogues gallery kind of thing. Like, all right, now there's this monster, now there's this. You could have every single monster,
just like
in a huge, like almost like dungeon area thing.
I like it. So you rolled Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I
I think that's very interesting. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And we're priests. Why would priests be in this? Like maybe just trying to.
You're on a
pilgrimage,
church
maybe.
trip.
Maybe they see it. Yeah, okay.
We're trying to spread the good word.
Maybe
there's more. There's gonna be more people at the park, so we can like reach out to more
holy
people.
classes.
Youth group trip to Fantasy Park.
Sure.
Yes.
So here's the thing so when we say characters, I don't want that to be confused with backgrounds. So you all, I mean, like in the backgrounds in the D&D 5th edition rule sense. So it could be a group of priests, but maybe you're not all priests. Maybe one of you is a priest.
Yeah.
But for your actual class and your background, you could have a totally different story. Even if you are the priest, maybe you were once a soldier, and so you have a fighting class or whatever. Don't feel locked into the characters that we roll.
So I think that's one of my favorites. I think that's up there with
The
teleporting cyberpunk guys.
Very cool.
Who wants?
We might have to hold on to our butts.
Hold on to your butts. That's a good one. Clever girl.
Classic line.
Clever girl, right? I had world setting. Who wants that?
I'm sticking with plot.
Son of a bitch.
Do you want to trade me? I'll trade you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll be world setting.
Am I character again? Robbie, are you okay with where you're at?
Setting. I feel like I'm downgrading when I go to characters. So, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll trade you.
You are. Yeah, character sucks.
You want okay, your character is one of mine now?
I will do characters. You are setting.
I will be setting.
Oh,
All right, so characters started out.
we are
It's just
politicians.
All right, so
Okay.
God. Living in a steampunk past.
Oh.
and the steampunk past is ruled by dragons. Dragonocracy is what I rolled.
Oh. Okay.
Well, bad news. We're going to have to rob something. It's the plot of Reservoir Dogs.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh, it's so good.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
Tarantino.
Can
it's
dragons turn
excellent.
into humans? Like,
So
isn't
in
it
this-
like a game where they can like go from like dragon form to like human form?
think
That's
in
World
this
of
kind of
Warcraft.
world, like maybe a politician
That's
is
World
like
of
a
Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
dragon.
Yeah, I think we
I know,
could do
but like,
that,
could you
though.
do that?
So what could be cool? All right, so there is a heist, right? You guys would be political people, maybe trying to save your face or trying to do something,
Maybe someone has some incriminating evidence on
on yourself, or you're trying to
a
get
member of our
incriminated.
party, whatever. Yeah.
Or you're trying to get that evidence.
Yeah.
And you're in a world that's ran by dragons, and it's a steampunk world, everyone's in the skies, the dragons are in the skies, and the dragons could, turn into humans or be smart. I feel like they have to be smart-speaking dragons at least, but maybe they also turn into humans.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That seems like interesting, but not great.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I mean, it's, we can think about it more, but I like Reservoir Dogs as a general, but yeah, the rest of it didn't mold well together
Yeah.
for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've rolled five different stories. Do we want to roll more? Or do we want to try to dial down onto one of these?
Why don't we do one person rolls all four? Like we all roll all four and we get 4 more stories from that and then we can pick. Is that too much rolling or?
That'll be totally not. That's fine.
Does that make sense? So like
Sure.
Matt would
So-
just do all the rolls and then we see what kind of world like he builds off of his rolls.
All right, Matt.
Yeah.
Pitch us
I'll go.
on. Roll it all yourself, and
I
then
will
pitch us
do
on
it.
whatever you think that means.
I'm going
to
to
you.
do it. Here's a good question. Does anyone have a beer?
Oh no! Should we take a quick beer break? I feel like I would
we
like
don't
another
have
beer.
to, but I really enjoy beer.
Let's take a beer break.
Okay.
So everyone roll 4 times. Write down your, the character, the setting, the world state, and plot. Think about what that could be, and try to sell us on it.
I don't have a pencil.
Well,
Memorize.
That ain't gonna work.
okay. So I will go ahead. This is Casey. I'm going to go ahead and go first. I rolled priests in a steampunk world during a civil war. And the plot is Alive, or like a shipwreck thing. Like Alive is the movie where they have to eat the other people because they crashed a plane. So I imagine it would be maybe like an airship in this fantasy world crashed. But the Civil War thing is maybe you crashed beyond enemy lines, and because you crashed beyond enemy lines, you have to get through and get out and try to save yourself. So that would be it'd be a very survival-based campaign, but the the characters I rolled were priests, so maybe they were like a medic ship or a medic vessel, so they're really just trying to survive and get out and do good, but, they're being tracked, you guys would be being tracked and being hunted in this wilderness and just trying to live day by day and not cannibalize each other.
So maybe we're thinking there that like the environment, you're being hunted, but also the environment is part of.
Yes.
Like
So I imagine,
you're trying to find food.
Yeah,
and
so I
water.
imagine maybe it would start as definitely you're surviving by yourself, but because it's a civil war, maybe you discover like this other base of the bad guys, but you're the Red Cross or whatever of this world, so you're not really supposed to be engaging them. But it's a story. There's a story there that I could work with, but I don't like it as much as what some of the other things we've rolled.
Okay. Well, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. Matt, do you have something for us?
We'll give it a shot here. So, you are hitmen. You're hired guns. And what? Yeah, exactly. Like super badass. But what are your weapons? What kind of world are you living in? We're talking about Candyland, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God.
So, multiplanar reality hitmen. We're sent into Candy World. who's our target? I don't know. Like, is it Willy Wonka himself? Is it is it,
the gingerbread man?
Right. Somebody did wrong and we're taking him down.
What's the plot? Yeah.
So we're gonna have to travel across. It's Lewis and Clark. So we're teleporting. We're teleported to Candy World. Something goes wrong. We thought we were getting right to the target. Boom, boom, in and out. We're gonna have to make a trek, though. I'm afraid. So we're tracking across Candy World to Hitman to take somebody down.
I kind of love that. A group of assassins, you're going after some sort of target who's like an interdimensional vigilante, badass, awful guy, and you're chasing after him. You get his location, you teleport, and it's whimsical Candyland, and you guys are all like wearing leather and have sniper rifles.
Right.
But then you're like, oh.
But like Chocolate River, waterfall.
And you have to go through this big, crazy, weird adventure trying to hunt this guy down.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing Candy World, but like
Willy Wonka.
Like instead, but like D&D, like instead of whatever the giant mosquito is, it's like a giant flying peppermint stick coming at you. I don't know, just like shit like that. Like, it does sound fun. Mm-hmm. It does.
That actually is pretty good. That is weird. That is. That'll be our Christmas episode.
It's a good Christmas episode.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go next. So mine are, I rolled a couple that were like similar to like what we already discussed, but we are treasure hunters living in a world tree, where there is a plague, and we're experiencing events similar to Lord of the Rings. So I was thinking something, the treasure that we're trying to uncover is something that's deep within the world tree. And the reason that we have to find it is because there is this plague that is like taking over the world. And whoever the bad guys are, they're trying to get to the whatever the ultimate treasure is. It could be like the creation of life itself, basically, because we're living in a tree.
The world seed?
Yeah, the world seed. So we want to get to the seed to help stop the plague, and the other guys want to get to it to cause destruction and let the plague continue and kill the world tree and just kill life itself.
That's a good fantasy adventure story.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I feel like it's more straightforward. Like it's on the
it is very straightforward.
The spectrum. It is more on the straightforward.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've seen something like that at some point, which doesn't make it bad. It just makes it like not.
It's more linear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie, hit us.
So my characters and settings and world state, they go easily together, but it's really hard to put my plot mix on there. So I'm going to start you guys off with my plot. My plot is a Robin Hood plot.
Okay.
We're men. Not that kind of Robin Hood? No.
Any kind of Robin Hood you want. I don't care.
Tights.
So the setting is a post-apocalyptic world, and which is easy to put into the world state of famine. And the entire time while we're doing this Robin Hood plot, we need to be pro wrestlers.
Dude, I see that.
I feel like you could do that. Yeah, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
So what part of Robin Hood would we put in there?
No.
You know?
So you're pro wrestlers who are like your community's heroes, like the luchadors. You are your community's heroes, and you steal from these like rich people that are hoarding all the food in this post-apocalypse. Like you have all, the story would be you're fighting this like these fat cats in this world where everyone's starving, but you're like a champion of the people.
Yeah.
So I like it better if we stole from we were taxed too much, and too much of the taxes were taken from the people, and all we're doing as the pro wrestlers is we're getting that tax money back that we got taxed. I don't like to say we steal from the rich, because who knows, they might have earned that majority of that money because they worked hard for it.
Not in this world.
No. I get to make this world. This is one I rolled. And we're stealing from the overly taxed government. We're stealing from them.
Yeah, like they're supposed to be offering you protection, but you guys, as the pro wrestlers, are actually offering the protection.
Oh yeah, we're getting all that tax money back. You taking our 33% of my paycheck.
Okay, so out of the two of those, actually, I think I like Robbie's and Matt's the best. I like Candyland.
I like Candyland.
I think that is funny and weird and dark.
Right.
Potentially.
I feel like there's a lot you could do with it.
Yeah. And because I'll be the one dungeon mastering the game, so I'll get to use all my great high-pitched voices. I get to talk like this, or like this, or like this. Like, I can use all kinds of zany voices. That'd be fun.
And if Willy Wonka shows up.
Welcome to Candyland, y'all. Welcome to Candyland.
I got candy for you, little boy. Wait, that's not the right candy voice.
That's your normal voice.
That's just how I talk to children.
Right.
Welcome to Candyland, bitches.
Get in my van. Yeah.
All right.
Now, what
Come
part
on
is
over here.
Candyland? Is that World State?
Yeah, that's setting. It's
Deadline.
number
Setting.
20 on
20.
setting.
Wouldn't it be
Candy
weird
World.
if you got a setting as Candyland and a World State as famine? Wouldn't that be that'd be crazy?
Yeah.
Like
It was all
poisonous
poisoned.
candy everywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got so hungry, I would just feel like taking a bite out of my.
Well, I mean, if the people are all candy and there's a famine in Candyland, it probably is just like a famine.
Cannibalism. That's where my
Yeah,
mind went.
cannibalism. Because
that's dark.
It's just a lack of refined sugar, really, is the problem. And so they have to start eating each other. That's so good. Let's just
do
pretend.
it.
Yeah, let's just do
let
that.
it rip.
Famine and Candyland.
I will
go.
sit here and roll long enough if that's what
until
you
we get
want.
there.
But let's just
Okay.
if that's what we like.
So now we have 9 different stories. I feel like the top 4 are pretty clear. I feel like the Godzilla story in the multiplanar world is up there.
It's a good one.
I feel like the Jurassic Park in a D&D Utopia is up there.
It's a good one too.
And I feel like Candyland is up there. And I feel like, Robbie, what was your last one?
Pro wrestlers and Robin Hood.
Pro Wrestling Robin Hood is pretty good too.
Gosh. Well, I don't know. I think of 2 good ways to go about this. One would be a vote.
Mm-hmm.
Another would be our DM as the DM.
Oh.
What would
I
be
mean,
easier
whatever.
for you to create?
Yeah, whatever your brain is going to is like. I would mold this into a great storyline. I think that's. I think that's
feel like
just as important.
I pulled those 4 out because I feel that way.
Okay.
Is there anyone that someone wants to veto immediately out of those 4 I just listed?
So we had,
That's a good way to start.
say them one more time, I'm sorry, we had King Kong, Godzilla King Kong.
Yes, we had
plot.
Dimensional Godzilla.
Okay, I like that one.
We had D&D Jurassic Park.
Can we? I apologize. Can we hear all 4? Because it is important to hear.
Sure. Yeah, let's
Like
come up with
Dimensional
some shorthand.
Godzilla, but like, what if it's pacifists? Well, then I don't like it as much. So
Okay. So we have Inquisitors in a cyberpunk future with a multi-planar reality and giant monsters,
Where we're murdering them.
which we'll call that interdimensional Godzilla as one. I'm going to write these down.
all right.
We have priests who are visiting a D&D theme park with classic Dungeons and Dragons monsters.
That one's very, very clever. As far as just like, I feel like you can just do so much as a G. Like you can just kind of have
Is
any
there like a
monsters.
demon?
Yeah,
I can just
kinda.
just monster manual, just like read that
Yeah.
monster manual and
I
come
feel
up
like
with
it's
a
a
million
layup.
ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of is.
No,
do
but I
that a
like
lot.
it. Don't get me wrong. I still
And
think
I
it's
also
clever.
like how that plays on. I feel like maybe even for our first episode, like it playing on the themes of Dungeons and Dragons
classic-
in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is. There's something really good about that one. That's maybe where I'm leaning the
got a
most.
good
I feel like
feel
the
to
others are cool stories, but this one is like, it's like almost like a perfect start for this podcast in a way.
All right, it's got a good feel. Let's
My
hear the
top
other 2.
2.
But yeah,
My top 2 are Jurassic Park and Candyland. Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman and Candyland is just so goofy.
I feel like
and
that
hilarious.
side. Yeah, I feel like that side of things is like we've got the very classic Jurassic Park one, and we've got the. All right, let's put a real mark
Yeah. Let's get
on our podcast.
Let's get weird.
Right.
It's kind of like, what do we want to start out with? Like, do we want to start out with the D&D Jurassic Park part, or do we want to start with the Candyland? It's kind of like, what are we ready for? Do we want to take it slow getting into it, or do we just want to dive right into it?
It's a good point.
Sugar Plum Princess has been using Splenda. Let's take her out. Not real sugar. I've got a contract.
We like cut to her, and she's like snorting it, like she's doing lines of Splenda.
She's snorting the real sugar. Yeah.
She's not using real product. We need to eliminate her.
God.
Now.
Just a scene later with a gingerbread with a bloody nose. Real sugar, get the fuck out, motherfucker.
Real sugar is the drug source.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
like
everyone's-
powers everything. So like she gives the people like the Splenda. It's not real stuff. So it's like
She's cutting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some
keeping it all for
stevia
herself.
overdoses plaguing the land. Oh, that is that's so good.
It's pretty rich.
And then okay, so number 4 would be
Pro wrestlers.
pro wrestling Robin Hood in a post-apocalypse.
I feel
And of
like
course, there's
I
always
like
going to
it.
be famine.
I think
when
that
there's
one's
post-apocalypse,
funny.
You know,
Of course.
That might be my least favorite of the 4. If I had to pick.
I'm excited about the pro wrestler part, but the other parts maybe not so much.
Yeah, I agree. Being a pro wrestler would be funny, but
Okay. So
as the world goes.
I feel like we're leaning towards I'm going to cut out the interdimensional. I like that as just a story as a world.
Yeah.
But I think I want to cut out the interdimensional Godzilla monsters. I think that's
I
a
feel
cool
like it's
campaign.
really good.
I think
none
that's
of us seem
sweet.
excited about it.
None of us are excited about it.
That's
And
all.
I also feel like for the first one, let's get weird or classical. Like, let's. I don't want to say play it safe, but like, it's a good introduction.
Here's the how do we decide between them all? I don't know. It's
All right,
tough.
so we're down to 2, right? I think.
I'm confident with that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
All right, I feel like D&D Jurassic Park is our go-to. I'm feeling.
What do you? I mean, I agree with kind of what Matt said, Casey. Because if you're going to be doing this first campaign, what do you feel more comfortable doing of the 2? Like maybe we want to put Candyland on the back burner and be like, that is something we want to visit. Maybe the next.
Yeah, that could be
campaign.
story 2.
That could be story
D&D
2.
and also D&D Jurassic Park. This could be a very short thing. Because you're all going to be eaten by beholders. Also, D&D Jurassic Park, like, I think we'll probably start at a pretty high level.
Okay, so we're
'Cause
priests. We're priests.
That
so
is
how? Well, I mean, I'm not naysaying that per se, but I'm saying okay, it's a utopia, right? That was part of the like you probably haven't leveled up much in a utopian.
That's true. And also, if you think Jurassic Park, you're going to be underpowered compared to the monsters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you all starting out between like levels 1 and 3.
I'm kind of wondering if more than like, okay, you stumble upon the beholder area and it's attacking you, like more so like, okay, we have to escape.
Yeah.
And what element, where here are the areas that are close to you. What do you think is going to help you avoid a beholder and or trick it into falling down a cliff or something stupid?
Okay, so let's let's think.
Come on.
Go this way.
So here's the one thing I think too is each time we do one of these sessions, we're always going to re-roll. So like if we pick 2 right now, I kind of feel that's cheating. I feel like we should only have to pick 1.
Yeah.
And if that other one comes up again, then we get to do that one. But like this Candyland episode of how often is that going to be rolled? Why would we pass it up now? Because we don't get to re-roll it.
Well, the mixture, it's because we like the mixture of it. Like, we can kind of keep that as a world if we want to go back to it. But again, like, I imagine that every time we do this, we'll completely roll randomly new stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So ideally, I would like to roll new stuff each time. But also, if we have something that's like really good and inspiring, there's no reason to flush it down the toilet. Mm-hmm. But I say let's keep thinking about D&D Jurassic Park. They're priests. You guys, I imagine, I would say probably start at level 3 for the sake of the story.
Sure.
Like mildly competent. Because I just like starting at level 3 in 5th edition in
it's a good
general.
one. Yeah.
Because you get your subclass, like you can actually do a thing or two. You're not going to completely run out of
right.
spells and skills.
Yeah, that
and
kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Would you say that we all have at least some sort of either background as far as holiness or...
So I'm thinking church trip, or I guess it would be.
So what if you're like young and not really priesty? Quite?
Maybe you're a student trying to discover you're trying to get into the priesthood. Maybe. I don't know.
if it's a trip with your church in a D&D world, One person would maybe be that works for the church, and the other two could be chaperones. So maybe one is a priest and the other two are chaperones. So that way they could be almost anything you want. Just you would have to be a parent of.
So we have a bunch of kids around there.
So you have a bunch of kids that you're trying to not get murdered.
That's tough.
Yeah. So how many kids are going to be alive at the end of this thing?
Yeah. How many priests? Chaperones?
Priest/chaperones.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm surviving.
That's classic Chuck.
Got to take care of number one, right?
You're going to be a rogue.
Them kids got lunch money I'm going to be taking. I'm the bully of the group, so.
So I feel like...
we like that one?
I like that one. All right, so you guys are going to be dads, moms, or priests on this trip with a church. I think we're about at the end of the show, or end of this episode. You guys are going to go away and make your characters and shoot me your backgrounds. We'll go from there and send all of that to me. And because some of that I might try to put into the story or try to create alternative goals relating to your background in this story. And we'll see all of you guys on our first episode where we start to play Crit Sandwich. Thanks for sinking your teeth into Crit Sandwich. I'm truly honored you'd spend time with us. We are Crit Sandwich on Facebook, at Crit Sandwich on Twitter. If you like our podcast, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts to help others find us. If you have any feedback or would like to contribute to our random game roll chart, hit us up on social media or email us at critsandwichpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.